There was one more, there's a few more questions. One of them was a simple, why is this happening? And my answer is only I know, and I'm not telling anybody. But besides that, I think that we covered the bulk of what's happening. I do want to end actually and respond. I want to respond to something. I don't think he's here. I actually wanted to respond to something that Eli Cronenberg had said, but Beseder, it's recorded. But I'll also tell this to him in person. I agree very, very much with something that Eli said, very, very strongly. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen as we start to go back into whatever those words mean. And for some of us, those words are very scary. To go back, to return to what? To what? There's a very big difference between judging someone and choosing what you want for yourself. I'll try to explain this as clear as possible. Eli had said before, and that's why I really mechazek what he said. To judge someone when you go back about did they change, did they not change? Of course, it's not. People respond to things differently. 1,000,000% they respond to things differently. But as many of you have noticed, and many of you have commented, both for good and not the best, but to me, any form of communication is always good. You see and you could hear that it's very, very clear to me that in the position that I'm in, that I will be a complete fraud if I felt that now is the time that we should focus on going back and worrying more about not judging anyone as opposed to what can't I compromise on anymore. I know I'm being very vague. I'm going to try to explain this again. Hashem should be with me, B'ezrat Hashem. Sometimes we're so big on making sure we don't judge someone that we don't allow our real ratzon to come through because we don't want to make someone else uncomfortable. But I already had nightmares about if chas v'shalom, our first Shabbos back in shul, I'd have to stop the chazan until there was quiet. I'd be just heartbroken. Isn't a word. It doesn't come close to the experience. It's a word. It's a dialect. It's a language. I'm still searching for myself to express it. And I know that, like, not God forbid to compare to Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and Rabbi Elazar, but each of us have been in a cave. We've experienced certain things. Daniel Sass has been in the cave for years, right? But each of us has been in our own cave on a certain level. And when we come out, we don't want our eyes to burn anyone down, chas v'chalila, but we also don't want to ignore that place inside of us that has been developing and awakening now, realizing that it could be that we really, really are living in the times that our fathers, grandparents, great-grandparents, and great-grandparents dreamed of forever. I don't want to ignore that. And when you're caught in living in a life, and I pray this comes across as clear as possible, when you find yourself truly living the words that you daven, Matai timloch b'tzion b'karav b'yameinu l'olam ve'et tishkon, or sheibana beis hamikdash b'mheira b'yameinu. There are certain times in life that it's more damaging on the neshama if you compromise in order to make sure someone's uncomfortable than not. There was a whole discussion years ago, before in a former Gilgul of the shul, whether the minyan, then it was a minyan met on Shabbos, if it should be a minyan that's focuses pashut lehachlil, means to just how do you say that in English? I'm not even sure I say that right in Hebrew. To just be able to contain everyone, Or should it have its own voice and say, this is who we are? We've already answered that question. Like we know who we are. I think we have a much greater sense of who we are. I think we feel more uncomfortable talking about non-spiritual things than spiritual things, which is a gewalt, which is beautiful. But now, like this next era that we're entering into, that's really dragging out from us something more, yitro, yoter, yoter, yoter. My fear, being very brutally honest, my fear is that we're not going to allow ourselves to go to that place enough, to be clear enough about that place for two reasons. One, because it's not clear to ourselves what we're feeling exactly. But B, because we don't want to, we already are the people that are drinking the Kool-Aid. We don't want to make that even more of an Indian, that we've mamish gone crazy and we're all just tripping all day long. But I believe enough in the koach of the tzibur, and I believe with all my heart and soul that every one of us, those that go to our shul, those that do not go to our shul, those that have kippas on, those that threw their kippas off years ago, I believe in Am Yisrael with all of my heart. I believe that the ratzon of every Jew, I also believe in the ratzon of every non-Jew, but right now I'm talking about the ratzon of Am Yisrael. I believe in the ratzon, the collective ratzon, what Rav Kook referred to as nishmat ha'umah, that the soul of the nation not just wants good, is good. Doesn't just want Mashiach, but has a spark of Mashiach in it. And that puts a very big and wonderful and beautiful responsibility on each and every one of us that feels like that. One of the things that gets lost in translation is that when we know we're feeling something, but we're not sure what it is, so we don't know how to verbalize it. So we just say, since I can't make it clear to myself what it is I'm feeling, I just stop the mishigas. I'll just go back to what I know how to work with. But our center of trust, this circle of Shirat David, must continue, Bezrat Hashem, to be a circle of absolute trust, that we trust each other with our hearts, that we trust each other, that every person here wants the best for the other person, that every person here believes in the other person. I believe in every one of you. And I know that every one of you believes in me, and I want every person to feel that. And I know that's a dream, and I know that's very, very, very big. But I know that I don't want to settle on anything less than that. I want to trust that when I come to shul to pour out my heart and soul, that I won't even have to worry about anybody preventing me from going to that place. And if it does happen, so I have to go to the place of they didn't mean it. Yalla, weiter. Let's go. Let's go. Nikudos tovos, azamra. Good points, good points, good points, good points. Look at all their good points. I want us all to collect all the good points within each other, to azamra the daylights out of each other, to take these teachings of Rabbi Nachman and mamish make them chai v'kayim, to take the teachings of all the Baalei Chasidus that are our biggest mashpim and make them something very, very real in life. But essentially that means that even though I can't judge anyone for what if they changed or didn't change, because that's absolutely the other side, that's the Sitra Achra, I need more. You need more. You want more. We all want more. What that looks like is up to us to define. It's not going to happen. We're going to show up in shul the first Shabbos when we're out of here, and it's going to be, did it happen or not, right? As spectators, did the change happen or didn't it happen? It's mamash bechira chofshit right now. If we really, really want to listen deeper and closer to what's going on, to pay closer attention. I believe the tzaddikim that we learn from in our shiurim and our Kehila paved the way for us. If I didn't believe that, we wouldn't spend time learning these Torahs. I believe that they mapped it for us. It's on that map, it's waiting for us. all their words, all their teachings, all their love that they have for us, it's all there. And I believe in us enough to continue to be that center of trust, of hope, of faith, and of emuna shlema, that if the Ribbono Shalom did not believe that you and I can get it together and create a place for the Shekhinah to reside, at this point in life, Hashem's not that cruel by putting us all together if we didn't have a shot. En sikui. There's no way. There is no way. If we're where we're at now in life, each and every one of us that's here right now, and also a chaver that haven't made it to the Zoom, it doesn't matter. It's because Hashem believes that we're capable of something much bigger than whatever we've dreamed of until now. And I'm so proud of us. And I'm so certain that each of you are proud of yourselves as well. And those of you that feel that this tekufa has dafka been one of the worst tekufas in the world, in this circle, you are safe to say that with zero expectation. Zero. Only love and caring. Utmost love and caring. Zero judgment. Zero judgment. But as a klal, as a tzibur, we have a big achrayus in Eretz Yisrael. We have a big achrayus in Am Yisrael. We have a big achrayut here in Efrat. We have a big achrayut. A very, very big one. And I know we're up for it. I know we're up for it. I want to give you all tremendous yasher koach. Each time each of you shows up to one of the Zooms that we do, or you ask one of the questions that you do, or you share something, you ignite me with a tremendous amount of koach to continue to be determined to figure out what this gift is that Hashem placed on our laps. It's something beautiful. Let's remember during this tekufa that one thing, achrayut means responsibility. Let's remember during this tekufa that as we go out of it, we already are making a t'nai that when we come to a place where someone does not agree with us, we first remember that we love them, and then we remember that we have a difference of opinion, and then we remember, who cares? It'd be a great chiddush if that was actually something we incorporated. Differences of opinions should have nothing to do with how I feel about somebody, unless, God forbid, they're threatening my life. It's not the case over here. I talk to my brother almost every day. Their nisayon, what they're going through, is very, very different than what we're going through over here. My Rabbi asked on Erev Shabbos, he said to us, he saw the chaver that we're learning on the Zoom with him in Eretz Yisrael. He says, chaver, usually we're always davening for you guys, that you guys should be safe. I'm asking you, please, please, please daven for us. We should be safe. So there's no inyan to tell them, if you really want to be safe, you come to Eretz Yisrael. That's the judgment that, first of all, will not work. You don't want anyone making aliyah because you said that. But second of all, it's not the inyan either. It's to be the beacon of love that we are. And that's why the questions tonight, specifically the one about aliyah, and Yuri, my brother-in-law, nailed it to the core, in my opinion, as he always does. Bigabai. That if we are who we are, and we trust Be'ezrat Hashem, the gift that Hashem gave us of being together, that's enough. Everyone else will follow. You don't have to do the outreach work or the inreach work. Just be the shining light that you are. Show up to a Zoom with a sign wishing someone a happy birthday. Do you know what that does? Do you know what that does? And the fact that you're not sick of these Zooms, do you know what kind of a chiddush that is? That's unbelievable. The fact that I'm not sick of it is bichlal. I have to talk to my shrink after this whole tekufa. But the fact that we're really, not only are we not sick of each other, we want so much more of each other. It breaks my heart in a way that makes me happy. Makes me very happy. So I just want to continue to wish a refuah shlema to all those that need a refuah shlema, and to continue to just encourage us to open, to share, to listen to our children, let them guide us. Shekoch David Yeshua. And to not be scared if you don't have the answer to a question that your child asks. The fact that he's asking is a chetzi nechama. But it's okay to tell a child, you know what? I've had that same question for many years. Let's ask it together. Let's go to the forest and ask it together. I think that's Geula, the space to question, and the non-pressure to have answers all the time. Bezrat Hashem Naseh v'natzliach, my dearest chavra. Let's go weiter. Let's go further. Every single day is a gift. Every moment of being together is a gift. Every Shabbos we've had also being alone has been a gift. Let's just be open to whatever the Ribono Shel Olam has in store for each and every one of us. We wish our doctors in the community a lot of atzlacha. We're rooting for you. We have all the hakaras hatov in the world for all of you, for the parents, for the gananot, for the gananim, for everyone, whoever it is that's in this. Each person has had to show up much more than ever before. Just remember how much Hashem believes in you, because if He didn't, He wouldn't put you through this right now. Hashem believes in us. Alavai, our emuna in Hashem should meet His emuna that He has in us. Weiter. Kehilat Tov, everybody.